to the listening audience and those of us viewing. It's really good to be here. It's been a while. And so I thought that I would just sneak in. And the topic for this morning is quite timely, as a bit of what I wanted to say surrounds the water issue that we are facing presently. So to start with, I wouldn't really say much because I don't want to end up going into what we are speaking about. So I will allow the show to run, and then I'll just interject accordingly.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Clark, you can lead the ball, so to speak.
Yes, Chico, thanks for having us here once again. And, the normal listening persons who are listening and viewing, and so they said, on a weekly basis. Last week we laid our officer, Jamie Henry, to us. We gave him a good send-off. We wish to thank the general public and the person in the community who also mourn with us during that time of bereavement. So I hope the family are, finding strength to hold it down and continue to live, even though they lost one of their loved ones. But today we're talking about water wastage. Water is a valuable source. Water contributes to, the water wastage contributes to water scarcity and the depletion of our natural resources. Though it is mainly one of our firefighting media, as we know that in our federation country, Mr. Hutch can talk about navies, we have some water rationing going on. We don't wish to blame anyone, but I think that we've taken the water for granted, and sometimes we don't know that we are wasting the water because it's such a norm. We just carry out our daily lives, go on in our daily lives, and not understanding and realizing that we are wasting our waters. I'm still seeing persons, sadly, washing down their vehicles. And it's not like some time ago when persons use a bucket of water. They're still using a garden hose. And after the first wet down, rather than to go in and turn off the hose, the pipe, they throw it on the ground until they finish. And after they done soap up or whatever, take up the hose again, wash off the soap again, throw it on the ground again. So all of these are waste water. We are wasting water. And they're saying, we never miss the water until the well run dry. No, this is it, this is reality. Our person sitting down and asking themselves and telling themselves, I am responsible in some way or form for wasting of water. I was doing some research, and I was told that the way in which we bathe, we have to use less water. I might be a bit guilty because we go in, let's say we scrubbing our teeth. We leave on the top, put on the toothpaste, scrub our teeth, water is running still. After we take our wings off, water is still running. We go in the shower, we turn on the pipe, we wet our skin good. Start to soap up the wash rag, water is still running. We choose not to turn it off. All of these here, we're washing dishes, we're leaving the pipe on. We want to wash a shirt and a pants, we fill up the machine to full rather than small. So all of these are areas in which we are continuing to waste water. And we have the fire chief here this morning. And I think it's a good time as it relates to washing down of the fire appliances. Because what we keep telling our officers, if we don't go out and perform major firefighting operation in the hills of the vehicles that are well dirty and smoky, just wet the chamois and wipe off the glass on the outside. Rather than to use a big hose got on by our fire hydrant and wet down the whole appliance where we went anyway. Just normally wet a chamois and just wipe off and let the incoming driver know that only maybe on a Friday time when it's that dirty, we will use that amount of water. So we too have a role to play as firefighters as it relates to the scarcity of water and how to prevent all of these water wastage. Okay? The other aspect, I'll let my other officers come in and talk about the water wastage, and we're going to go into how is it affecting or it might affect our firefighting operations.
All right. Mr. Hodge?
All right, good morning, GQ. Good morning, Sir Williams, Clark, and to
Thank you.
the listening and viewing audience, that is. And, I feel like I've been away from home for the
Yeah. It was only 1 week, but but I know, I understand.
Yes. But onto the water. Along with what Mr. Clark explained, part of where water is waste is just by having a leaking pipe. I don't know if you ever see a drip pipe dropping into a bucket, and before half of the day the bucket is full. So imagine what happens for the rest of the day.
If the bucket is not there.
Exactly. So, I would like to encourage persons that have leaks in their home, if they could have a plumber look at them, get them fixed, as well as the persons, as Mr. Clark would have mentioned, who deal with the washing of vehicles and so forth. Because it is a reality, and I don't know why most persons haven't adapted to the water conservation practices, because it's almost every year now we go through this season and we go through this water rationing. I feel as though maybe some persons forget about it when the water comes back on, and as soon as it's shut off, that's then when they remember, we got this low water thing going on. But I just would like to encourage persons to conserve the water, because from firefighting standpoint, where it really affects us, and even before we get into that, this is the drought. We've seen about the heat waves and the high temperatures, and it's the time where we have more fires, and going out there to put out fire does not at all in any way or form helps the water situation that the country is having. So at this time, I would like to appeal to the general public again to refrain from lighting fires. The fires do get away. I mean, I had one in Nevis a couple mornings ago again, where a gentleman lighted some garbage. He said he went to the bathroom, he came back, and all the trees in the area were burning.
Wow.
We had to use about maybe 800 gallons of water to put down that fire. 800 gallons of water that could have sufficed maybe 6 families for the entire day. So we have to be mindful of that. And with the water rationing, what I would like the public to know is when there is no water in your home, there is no water in the fire hydrants as well. And that's basically it. If it affects us very, very much when we have to do firefighting duties, because as Mr. Clark would have mentioned, the water is our main media that we use to put out fire. It's the cheapest, it's the main thing we use. And I don't know if I could reiterate enough for persons to conserve the water. Just conserve it. I wash off a vehicle the other day using a 5 gallons bottle of water. Wet down the chamois, wipe it, and we put the little dust mark, leave back, you take a little bit more, you go over it. A 5 gallon bottle of water. So
It's like how you buy.
yeah, I was just trying to. That was the last thing.
Yeah, I do it in less.
Wow.
Okay then. Yeah, so I don't know if Mr. Williams would like to come in now and add what he has to say. If Mr. Clark wants to get back the mic.
Well, just to add, in our efforts to conserve the water, one of the things we can do, because one of the things I do, whenever I go anywhere, any place, it doesn't matter where it is, and I see leaking pipes, that kind of thing, I contact water department right away. I have my good friend Kurt Carty on speed dial. I take pictures of the location, I send them, say, hey guy, we have a water issue here. You need to send somebody to fix this. Anywhere I go, that's what I do, because I understand that is gold that we're wasting. And so that too contribute to conserving our water.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, JT, let's move on to the way in which it affects firefighting operations. It was when was last night, Mr. Williams, Chief? I called the Chief yesterday afternoon. I was very much worried. So, Chief, the water is about to go at 7 p.m., you know. What if, let's say, Tabernacle has to respond to an emergency and depleted the truck? After seeing the list of all the communities and villages, the water will be affected. So, Chief, what can happen? And he was like, why, Clark, yeah, but what are we going to do? But I told him, what I realized, I didn't see Old Road, half between New Guinea, Conyers, and those areas. So I was like, I wonder if in that area, those areas have water. You know? So he said he called the water department, and other officers kept calling me and asking me, well, Clark, what are we going to do?
Wow,
So,
that was a big concern.
yeah, very much concerned. Because for Tabernacle to leave Tabernacle, to journey all the way to Bassett, just to replenish with 700 gallons of water to go back. So now we have all of our stations on reserve, on standby. So, and then another question I asked the Chief, what if all of us respond to a major fire and all of our appliances have been depleted? What's next? He said, Clark, just hope that doesn't happen. But I guess, I don't know if Mr. Williams has this, we can call on persons in the water department so they can turn on certain areas for us to get water. That is something the Chief will, I guess, can touch on. And if the water department wish to have an audience, we can invite them on the show as well. So yes, water, we need water. We can use this water, but we have to flush out the pumps.
After.
Using what?
Same water.
Fresh water.
The same fresh water.
That we don't have.
Yeah.
And we cannot leave the pumps overnight because the salt is going to do a lot of erosion. So that too
It's an issue.
is an issue. So this way now we still, as Mr. Hodge mentioned, 800 gallons of water in this.
Yeah.
Light something and turn off. That's why we keep coming here week after week, months and years after year. Tell him, ask in person, seek permission, advice from the fire department. Persons are not listening until we get the legal background, and then persons cannot call in on the radio show and attacking the fire department because we continuously over a period of time warning persons. So it is a major issue. So I will stay here and allow my colleagues to chime in.
Before you chime in, though, I just want to let the public know that the lines are open, 465-2555. For those of you who have concerns that we'd like to raise or address or highlight to the officers that they might not be aware of, so they can assist you. That number again is 465-2555. Mr. Hodge or Mr. Williams, you can proceed.
All right, Jake.
The big boss.
Now, in relation to how the water scarcity shortage is affecting fire department, it's not just affecting us, affecting our firefighting operation, as Mr. Clark would have alluded to. It also affects us in that it adds wear and tear to the vehicle, and by that I mean we know we are part of the effort in transporting water to villages that do not have water. So because of that shortage, the fire truck now have to be making additional runs daily, back and forth, to carry water to villages.
Can I ask you all to put on your headphones? Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you, Chief. Good morning.
Hello, DQ. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you?
I am good, man.
This is Sonny Boy.
Yes, Sonny Boy.
Hey, Chief Brummel. Hello, how are you doing, brother?
Okay,
I'm glad
Sonny
to
Boy,
see you move
quiet.
up
What's
now.
up? What's up?
I have a suggestion that I need to make. When I grew up in St. Kitts, there was abundance of water. We had reservoirs that store water. We had so much that the reservoirs couldn't hold them. The ocean is rising now, and because of climate change and all the icebergs are melting. Why St. Kitts don't go on build a couple more desalination plants and save that water, put it in tanks and save it, because you're building major hotels in St. Kitts now, mega hotels, and they're using tremendous amount of water. So my suggestion is why they don't form a salination, and the government will make maybe 2 or 3 more desalination plants and store all the water for time of use. That's just a suggestion. And I'll listen up here.
All right, Martin. Thank you for your call, Sonny Boy. Any response to what Sonny Boy suggested?
Yes, so in relation to what Sonny Boy suggested, I'm sure recently we would have seen where the government would have had a groundbreaking ceremony for a desalination plant over in the Canada Estate region. And there's also should be a desalination plant that is going to be placed somewhere in Bastille, and that should be producing somewhere around 2 million gallons. And so that will definitely positively affect the water issue that we're having now. So efforts are ongoing, and the desalination suggestion that is actually that's a reality. As I mentioned, they would have had the groundbreaking ceremony, and for both St. Kitts, and there's going to be one in Nevis, and there's also another plant to be placed somewhere in Bastille.
Okay.
So futuristically, I'm hoping that more of these plants would be placed strategically on the island
to assist.
eliminate this water issue that we're having.
Good morning. You're live.
Good morning. Just want to either make a comment or repeat something that I heard the Prime Minister said. We are approaching summer right now, and last year I heard myself says next year summer the water shortage will be history for St. Kitts. So I want to know if there's a plan coming in for that. At least we were talking about desalination plant as well. And I still hearing talks about it, but I ain't seen anything happening, apart from I heard that they had some land breaking business, somewhere over Canary side. So I believe the water department people that is there should have some knowledge as to what's happening. So I would like to hear what are the plans about the history of the water shortage here in St. Kitts. I have problems in Sadler's I come and I want water every night, but I can't get it. I have to wait till morning to clean up the dishes and stuff like that. And I go home late at night and I go bed out our kids. And I don't like that kind of behavior there. So tell me what the plans are that you all have in place for the water history, the water that will go into history, the problem of the water that will go into history.
All right, man.
Yeah, talk to me. Listen up here.
All right, thank you so much. Chief?
All right, Carl. To answer your question, yes, the government is working on the desalination plant, and the question seemed to be it seemed to be directed to the water department. So maybe in one of the shows we would look at having a representative from the water department here with us, since we are working hand in hand, because they move the water, but we use most of it.
Late moment there, yes.
Yes. But the caller before was speaking to the water and water shortage, the storage of the water. What I've realized, what most of us now know, is that back in the days, you ain't had so much flush toilets in the house, you ain't had so much concrete constructions going on, there were a lot of board projects and so forth. But as we modernize now, the water is being elapsed, the water is being used up greatly through construction mostly. We can't say cease the construction, because then you'll be putting a number of persons out of work. But to the contractors and the foremans on the job, if you could find a way to minimize the water use, that would be greatly appreciated by both departments. And if I may add to, I think last year I've witnessed, while we were having shortage in the Bastille area, that's when the Lagreet Aquifer was more or less empty. I've been seeing water running out of a reservoir in Challengers. As we went to a fire in the area on a site, I called the water department, because if they could find some way to route the water to where it could be properly stored rather than the small storage being overwhelmed with it. That would help the country greatly.
Gotcha.
So I don't know, as I say, maybe we could invite someone from the department, and at that time we could have a better understanding of the problem we all face.
Maybe we can have a part 2 next week. Mr. Clark, I put that in your hands.
Yes.
All right. Good morning. You are live and lively.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
What happened to the pool where they dig between Nowali and Cranston Estate?
Hold on a second. Can you turn on the volume and ask your question again?
What happened to the pool where they dig between Nowali and Cranston Estate?
You all heard the question?
You hear me?
All right, they'll respond. They will respond. All right.
We won't know anything about it. Remember, we're the fire department. So, as I said, next week we try our best to get representative from the water department to answer some of these questions.
All right. Let's go to the line. Good morning, you're live. All right, let's try this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, GQ.
Hey, good morning, Culture.
Yeah, and good morning, the gentlemen there.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Culture.
Right. I are aware that the water shortage is coming worldwide. And we in St. Kitts, we're really accustomed to have water in every tick on the clock. But like one of you said, with the amount of houses being constructed, then a lot of the water has gone to those projects. Now, I am guaranteed that there are more than 10, swimming pools in St. Kitts. And while people in the communities have to be careful with the amount of water that we use, are there anybody monitoring these people with the swimming pool? Because nobody going to allow the swimming pool to go down less than 3 feet. They're going to top them up. And especially with this heat, the heat evaporates the water very fast and quick. So I think you all should monitor these people with the swimming pool and make sure that they don't fill them up, because they're taking a lot of water. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call and sharing that, Culture. Any response to Culture, gentlemen?
All right, Culture, thank you for your contribution. He has been one of the person listening in week after week. And, we really appreciate him. We appreciate the input he gives into this radio program. But saying 10 swimming pool, you get 100% for that for sure, because I'm sure it's more than 10 times 10. But it's an eye-opener, Culture, where, as you say, your sure persons would be filling them. I don't know if they might be tapping them up, but there are water in those swimming pools that could have very well used differently. But I'm really wishing that the desalination plant could come on stream, and I think it's strategically placed in the Canada area where Contech is on the masonry. It's close to them, and if they could feed those concrete chucks, those plants, from that desalinated water, then they would leave the water in the mains, and we should see a tremendous, we should see a real increase. Wow. But I'm hoping that the water coming out of those plants basically goes on par with our normal water prices. I mean, that would only cause construction price to go up if it's way above. I'm even hoping that it could be a little less too, so maybe we could see a decrease in a load of cement.
Hold that thought, gentlemen. Good morning, you are live.
Yeah, simple question. Do we have fire trucks that can transport seawater?
Thank you for your question, gentlemen.
The trucks we have, they can transport seawater. They can transport seawater, but they cannot store seawater. Seawater corrodes the piping and it damages the pump. So that is why we would have mentioned earlier, once we use seawater, we have to flush the system, and you go back to using fresh water to flush the system. There are designs where the pump is designed, it is constructed from a metal that can stand up longer to salt than others. Some pumps use aluminum and others use brass that stand up longer than salt, but eventually salt corrodes and it will erode even the brass. So we still have to flush the system. So it is not, we do use salt water for firefighting, and you will normally find us doing that in coastal areas where we are close to sea, where we have to do firefighting operation more inland. It takes time to go to the sea to pump water to come back. So when we have to do that, the fire spreads. So we use water that is more accessible, which is the fresh water. I know there were times when it was suggested if the salt water could be in, if you have salt water mains. I don't know how possible that is, but that would take some time and that a lot of logistics and to put that kind of infrastructure in. And so we are hoping that the desalination plants that are being proposed and would, especially over Canada, that where the construction was started, we hope that those desalination plants would improve the water system so much that we don't necessarily have to resort to salt water, because salt water would really do some damage on our trucks.
Final call for the morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning, Dick. Thank you. The salt water going to run out the engine, and so we're going to make sure you wash out the fire truck them when you don't do the salt water. But I hope we get some more well. And looking at some of the reservoir, they're done with them, so that's why a lot of water ain't coming. Because the reservoir used to be at the estate them that full up, the big tank full up. So maybe that is all the shortage too. Have a good day.
You have a good day too.
Thank you.
That's a final call for the morning. Gentlemen, I'll let you respond and also make your wrap up.
All right, thank you, Carlo, for your contribution. And yes, as you say, it was mentioned earlier that if we use the salt water, we would have to flush the truck, flush the pumps thoroughly to preserve them. That's it for me until next week, hopefully. Hope I'm not away that long again.
It was 3 weeks? It felt like 2. Wow.
So yes, you can wrapping up. Let's ask the federation to unite in this cause and this effort. Because we don't wish. By now, everyone would have started to full buckets and full these things, right? And also we have person with what do you call it? Swimming pools. If in an event of a major fire, we are asking person, even though you have these wells, this is a big bus here, ask the person to use that water, but we have to put it back in. We have that. We have that rule, right? The chief has that authority.
Right.
And if person have the storage, a little bucket and buckets of water at home, if any fire, we asking person to come out and assist you. You understand? So we wanted to unify the person. Let's just unify. Let's come together as one in an event of any fires or catastrophe during this period of rationing of water. Let us come together as a nation so we can assist one another and live peacefully and happily. That is it from me.
All right, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Chief?
Well, I will just want to endorse everything that was said and ask us to be more prudent in our water usage, as we are now literally living. You don't miss the water till you run dry. Literally living it, so you understand. If you didn't understand what it means now you understand what it means. So we have to preserve the water. We have to be wise when using the water. It is affecting everybody. It is affecting us at the fire department, and we have to be on the road again today carrying water. We were in the Doors area yesterday, and the day before we were in St. Peter's, and we have to go to Cairn, and so it's we weren't here, and that same truck we have to use for emergencies. And so we are all contributing to the supplying or the providing of water to the citizens. And there is something that is lingering, but I think I prefer not to touch that. I prefer not to touch that because that basically to me that was a personal opinion. So I leave that alone and to encourage persons to be wise in our water usage. I joke it sometimes that the water gun and I got to use one of those water bottles, gallon water bottles, and take a shower with that. And I have to make it work. I have to make it work. Like you're good fresh. So we have to be prudent and encourage persons to desist from using this ton load of water to wash vehicles. And yeah, you could use a cup of water to wash your car. Yeah, we have to be wise. We have to be wise. And we have to step down and be more responsible. When you see people wasting water, report it. Broken pipes, report it. A fire hydrant that might be leaking, report it. Okay, so all of these are ways to preserve the water. Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you for being here, gentlemen, and hopefully next week we'll have maybe we'll keep our fingers crossed, someone from the water department to join our conversation as we continue bringing the awareness to our listeners and to the Federation as it relates to water rationing and how we can, conserve and make it work, so to speak. Make it work. The morning show came to your compliments, The Cable. Well, we're not over, still have more to go. It's coming to your compliments, The Cable, Smart Electronics, Domino's, National Bank, and Domino's. We'll be back right after this.
April Giveaway Frenzy, where everyone wins. Sign up today for a new internet packet and get blazing fast internet speeds from The Cable. And how about TV? Sign up for Ultra TV and get over 90 channels at an ultra cool price. And everyone who signs up gets to pick from a treasure trove of amazing prizes. Picture yourself enjoying your favorite shows, movies, news, and sports on Ultra TV, or streaming your favorite series, without the buffering. Get the best of both worlds while also winning incredible prizes, from cash to groceries to gift cards from Shein or Amazon, even a weekend getaway. It's all part of The Cable's April Giveaway Frenzy. It's time to get the best broadband and the most Ultra TV experience. Sign up with The Cable